Let me tell you, when Mark died, my world shattered into a million pieces. We'd been married for 8 beautiful years, building a life in our quiet Seattle home. He was an architect, brilliant and kind, and I was a kindergarten teacher, perfectly content. Then, 6 months ago, a drunk driver stole him from me, just like that. I was still navigating the crushing waves of grief when his mother, Eleanor, decided it was the perfect time to launch her offensive. Eleanor never approved of me. She'd look at my sensible teaching clothes with disdain and make snide remarks about my working-class background. After Mark's funeral, while I was still numb with sorrow, she started her campaign. Mark's will was clear, everything went to me. Our house, his substantial investments, a valuable collection of Pacific Northwest art, even his vintage Porsche 911. But Eleanor refused to acknowledge it. Sarah, dear, she'd purr, Mark always intended for Brenda to have some of his investment portfolio to help her struggling boutique. And that Rothko? The audacity of it, while I was still barely sleeping, still smelling his cologne on his favorite sweater. A part of me, the grief-stricken part, just wanted to give in, to make the incessant calls stop. But another, colder, more resolute part, a part Mark would have been proud of, snapped into place. I remembered Mark once joking about his mother's secret slush fund, and a strange, large bank transaction I'd once seen on an old statement of his, one that didn't make sense at the time. I understand your feelings, but Mark's will is legally binding. She scoffed, clearly expecting me to fold. She thought she was going to strong-arm me into signing away half my inheritance. What she didn't know was that I had already noticed some suspicious bank statements linked to her, unrelated to her actual income, and I had already hired a forensic accountant and a very discreet private investigator. Next part on my profile.